Coming up, a Jasper man wanted on burglary and theft charges now faces additional drug and weapons charges. And the Jasper Public Library is now closed. We'll tell you why and how long. These stories and more next on 18 News. Hello, I'm Mick Birge. A Jasper man wanted on burglary and theft charges is in police custody on additional drug and weapons charges. 26-year-old Craig Kiefer was arrested Saturday afternoon after an off-duty DuBois County Sheriff's deputy spotted him in Ireland knowing there was an active arrest warrant. The off-duty deputy contacted an on-duty officer, and a short time later, Kiefer was stopped by the on-duty deputy. The deputy says he found Kiefer in possession of marijuana, as well as a marijuana grinder and a pipe, and with a .22 caliber rifle. The Sheriff's Department says a previous burglary conviction bans Kiefer from having guns or ammunition. The new charges pending against Kiefer include a Class B felony count of illegal possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, plus misdemeanor counts of marijuana possession and possession of paraphernalia. A rural Jasper man was arrested yesterday afternoon after an argument broke out at a home in Huntingburg. 21-year-old Austin Shepers is charged with battery resulting in bodily injury, criminal mischief, and trespassing. Huntingburg police say at about 4:15 yesterday afternoon, Shepers went to the home of Frederick McClellan in the 100 block of South Main Street to talk with McClellan's son, David McClellan. Police say an argument between Shepers and Frederick McClellan turned physical. Police say the physical altercation also resulted in damage to personal property and to the McClellan home. Frederick McClellan was taken to Memorial Hospital in Jasper for injuries he suffered in the altercation. He was treated and later released. Now, Shepers refused medical treatment before he was taken into custody. Another Jasper man was arrested for battery early yesterday morning following a domestic dispute at his apartment home in the 600 block of Geisler Road. Jasper police say 23-year-old Nicholas Dennison was arrested shortly before 5 o'clock yesterday morning for allegedly battering his mother. A westside Jasper home was heavily damaged by fire Saturday afternoon. The fire broke out at the home of Jeannie Sager in the 900 block of Dorbit Street shortly after 2 p.m. Saturday. Sager told Jasper firefighters she noticed smoke and tried turning off electrical breakers to kill power to what she said was the problem area. Now, when Jasper firefighters arrived, fire did break out in a hallway ceiling. Jasper Fire Chief Kenny Hoeksong says the south part of the home sustained the worst fire and water damage. The fire was electrical in nature. No one was hurt, and Sager was able to save most of her personal possessions. Damage estimates are at least $50,000. The Jasper Police Department is asking the public for its help in finding a hit-and-run driver who police say left the scene of an accident Friday afternoon in the 1400 block of Vine Street. Police say they received a call from a local resident at about 3:50 Friday afternoon who says they saw a newer black extended cab truck collide with a parked vehicle on Vine Street and then continue southbound on Vine. Police say an SUV owned by 34-year-old Natalie Roush sustained an estimated $7,500 in damage. Police say the truck that hit the SUV should have damage to its front passenger side. Anyone with information that could assist the investigation is asked to call Jasper Police at 482-2255, or you also can call the department's anonymous tip line at 481-COPS. That's 481-2677. A Jasper woman injured last Wednesday afternoon when she was struck by a semi on Jasper's far north side is out of the hospital. 28-year-old Erin Jones was struck by the semi at about 3:45 Wednesday when she tried to cross U.S. Highway 231 near Home Depot. The semi's driver, 55-year-old Larry Hill of Georgia, told Jasper police he did not see Jones in time, but that he did try to stop before striking her. She was taken to Jasper's Memorial Hospital with what police described then as severe injuries. She was later airlifted to St. Mary's Medical Center in Evansville. The Jasper Public Library is now closed for the next month for some needed renovations. The library is expected to reopen Wednesday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. Some of the improvements include new shelving and furniture to better maximize space inside the Jasper Library. The Jasper Library patrons can now check out and return materials for the next month at either the Ferdinand, Du Bois, or Birdseye branch libraries. You can do so during regular business hours. Now, the book drop at the Jasper Library will be open at times during the next month while the work is going on. However, the book drops at the other 3 libraries can be used as well at any time. All right, coming up, our Monday with the Mayor conversation this week. A very busy Denny Spinner of Huntingburg joins me in studio. And later in sports, Kurt has more reaction to IU's win over Ball State. All right, welcome back to 18 News. Time now for a regular Monday with the Mayor feature, and Huntingburg's Denny Spinner joining me in studio. And this is really kind of a neat time of the year. I mean, Christmas in full swing. We've had the stroll. We've had Chris Gundelmar. Jasper has its Tannenbaums this weekend. Santa's already been in town. It's really, it really seems like there's a lot of excitement in the air. And one of the things that's very special about the town of Huntingburg is this Mayor's Assistance Fund. Why don't you take a moment to talk about it?
Right. The Huntingburg Assistance Fund is something that has been part of our community for decades. It was started originally as a way, again, to assist some families who needed some help around this time of year. Started off with gift baskets and has grown to a point where it's really a great thing for our community. And as my first year in office, I'm pleased to be able to continue that tradition. And how it works is a lot of the folks make special contributions to the Huntingburg Assistance Fund. And we take all the money that is donated and we take applications basically from different civic organizations in the community, things to help those in need at this time of year, and distribute that money based on those applications. And for example, Mick, last year through the Assistance Fund, over almost $9,000 was distributed to different agencies in the city of Huntingburg. And also, another part of that contribution is set aside into an endowment that will continue the program throughout the years. So a lot of the folks who are normal contributors to this have already received the letters, the civic groups, the businesses. But if there's anybody interested in making a contribution this time to help the community, you can contact the city office. Jackie Leakin there in our office kind of coordinates that program. So if you want to call the city office and ask Jackie about that, we'd like to have your contribution. And just to give you an idea, Christian Ministries received money last year, which is Shared Abundance downtown. The Youth Center received money. The women's ministries there that are located in Huntingburg that do a lot of different programs in the schools. Also, the Generations program, the Agency on Aging, received funding. So all these are ways that we can give back to the community this time, and it's a very special program. Again, it shows the generosity of our community, which is again a traditional thing, and we're just happy to keep that going.
And the phone number to call?
683-2211.
And you're talking about how long this program's been going on. I guess either Dale or Connie started.
We're still trying to figure it out. It's either Dale Helmut or Connie Noss. So
but it really shows, I think, the caring community that Huntingburg
is. It's been part of the fabric. And again, one of those perks as mayor is I get to continue that. Every mayor has supported it. It's a thing that the community takes a lot of pride in, and I'm glad to be able to promote the fund again this year.
A new program you're going to revive, or I guess an old program you're going to try to revive?
A Main Street program. Huntingburg was one of the original members of the Main Street program in Indiana. Started some very good work. In fact, the work you see downtown with the sidewalks and the trees and that type of program was part of the Main Street program originally. Through the years, the program kind of waned a little bit. Some of the enthusiasm behind it was lost. But in speaking with Nick Stevens, with the Chamber of Commerce, we've looked at ways to revive this. And in fact, an application has gone in to the Lieutenant Governor's office through Okra to revise the Main Street program. And what this will put us in a position for, Mick, is any kind of long-term planning for improvements in the downtown. Again, that original tree-lined look started about 12 years ago. There's been some concerns about how do we go from here? How do we plan for the replacement of that? And in fact, we've had the state's urban forester come down, walked down 4th Street, looked at every tree, and it's going to come back with a report after the first of the year on some suggestions on that. And it just seems natural to have that tied together with the Main Street program, and I'm going to encourage anyone who's interested in that, you'll see more on that soon, that we need to get a consistency together, get an idea, get a plan to not only move forward with where we are, but plan for the future on what 4th Street should look like. Because it is a vital part of our community, and we think that it's something that is, again, one of those keys to Huntingburg.
And it's really amazing how all the little, I guess, variances or factors that have to go into something,
right.
You know, with the historic place that is 4th Street, now,
right.
you know, with the Main Street project, how they all have to come together and work together. It is kind of amazing, and if people say, my God, why can't we do this right now? Well, it takes time.
It takes time, and this puts us also, being back active in the Main Street program, puts us in line for funding possibilities as well. So, and it's all part of you know, the listening sessions that we had earlier in the year, talked about how do we keep the downtown going, how do we attract new business. This is kind of a natural progression on that, is we're taking that idea, looking at the Main Street program, which did a great job, and we want to revitalize that. So it's all part of that process. It takes some time, but once we get that consensus built, I think we'll be able to come up with an idea and a plan for the future for our downtown area that everybody will be very happy with.
And over the stroll, just hearing people, especially out of town people, just talk about how cool 4th Street is.
Well, it's unique.
In downtown Huntingburg.
You can't recreate that. It's there. The historic structures are there. The feel is there. I want to say that the folks at the stroll did an amazing job. We had a terrific weekend for the weather. Some of the best ever is what I've heard from a lot of the merchants. We got to keep that momentum going. And I think that we're working with the merchants and with the chamber and with all those that are concerned. I think we're going to be in a position that we can do some very exciting things to keep 4th Street going downtown.
And speaking of downtown, the parade's this weekend.
The parade is this weekend. The old-fashioned Christmas parade will be Saturday night. It starts about 6 o'clock. It's a short parade. It's basically down 4th Street. Starts on the east end of 4th Street and proceeds down west towards Salem Church and ends at Salem Church. Santa will be at the church. Of course, he'll be on the parade, but he'll wind up at Salem Church. All the candy will be provided, as it always has, by the Kiwanis Club. But also at Salem that evening, in addition to Santa, we have the experience of a night in Bethlehem, which is kind of a courtyard experience of what it was like during biblical times. So it's a good mix between the traditional Santa Christmas and also the more traditional Christmas with celebration of the birth of Christ. So it's a good mix, great crowd, and just want to encourage everybody to come out and join that.
And I'll even make a plug for the night in Bethlehem, because a couple years ago when we got back, I had never been in the Salem United Church of Christ in my life. I never had reason to be in there. And the first time, I guess, was a couple Christmases ago, the first time back, we went over there to see what this thing was really about, and that is really neat what they do.
Oh, it's a tremendous program. Just a lot of fun, but also gives you kind of that sense of what Christmas is all about. So it's a great combination of the community and the church working together, and we're excited about it. It should be a good evening.
I love Christmas.
Ho ho ho!
That's going to do it for this edition of Monday with the Mayor with Huntingburg's Denny Spinner. Stay tuned. Weather's next.
Good evening, I'm Kurt Gooksell. No hangover for the IU basketball Hoosiers following the New York trip and Thanksgiving. The Hoosiers walloped Ball State 101-53 last night at the Assembly Hall. Will Sheehy came off the bench for 19 for Indiana. Jordy Hulls was sharp shooting once again. He had 17. Cody Zeller 15. Christian Watford tossed in 11 with 10 boards for the 6-0 Hoosiers. The IU defense held the Cardinals to 31% shooting from the field and out-rebounded Charlie Cardinal the tune of 42-29. IU assistant Tim Buckley, the former Ball State coach, subbed for Tom Crean in the post-game presser.
Really pleased with the way our guys played. We talk about it all the time, whether we're in a film session or practice session or a walkthrough or warm-ups. We're always trying to improve and get better, and we obviously felt like we did tonight. Got key contributions from a lot of guys. Played really well, played Indiana-type basketball, and we want to sustain that in order to continue to improve as we go forward. Well, I think the culture is such where every practice has the intensity of a game. Everything that we do has that type of intensity. Obviously, it starts with coach, and it trickles down, but that's kind of what everybody expects every time we get together and we do things. And I think our guys know that they want to be great. In order to do that, we've got to continue to push and keep getting better and better.
The Hoosiers will host North Carolina tomorrow at 9:30 in the ACC Big Ten Challenge up at the Assembly Hall. Lucas Idle had 25 for Indiana State. Fighting Trees beat High Point 76-62 at the Holman Center. Idle hit all 9 of his shots from the floor, including 7 3-pointers. ISU is 4-1. Louisville center Gorgie Zhang is out indefinitely after he broke his left wrist during a game against the Missouri Tigers on Friday in the Bahamas. The preseason All-Big East selection was averaging 8.2 points, 8 boards, and 2 blocks through the first 5 games for Coach Pitino and the Cardinals. The Colts bounced back from that New England game with a 20-13 win over Buffalo at Lucas Oil in NFL football yesterday. T.Y. Hilton scored on a 75-yard punt return and caught an 8-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Luck. Luck on the game, 20 of 37 for 240 yards. At 7-4, the Colts will travel to Detroit on Sunday. Jay Cutler came back from his one-game concussion break and led the Bears to a 28-10 breather over Minnesota. Up at Soldier Field, Cutler threw for 188 yards and a TD. Chicago is 8-3. And as expected, Danny Hope is out as Purdue's head football coach A.D. Morgan Burke fired Hope after the Boilermakers beat Indiana to retain the Old Oaken Bucket. It was not enough, though. Hope was 22 and 27 in his 4 seasons in West Lafayette. Burke says the search for the successor for Hope will begin right away. Stay tuned. We'll have more WJTS 18 News right after this.